Hi guys, Mindstone here, and today I will be going through a deck list with, at least it includes some of the new cards from Mean Street of Gadgetzhan. Um, so instead of doing the usual reviews, I'm going to be doing these kind of lists. It's going to be a little series, maybe a few decks, where I'm going to be showing off some of the new cards, what they can do. So I'm just going to go through the deck and each individual card's role in it. More specifically, the new card's role. So it's a lot like mid-range hunter now, and still has some phase aspects to it. So as you guys have noticed, there's a lot of things which play smaller things. Don't know if you know the cards, but we've got Alley Cat, which is going to summon two 1/1 beasts. We've got the Direwolf, which synergizes well these with the Kindly Grandmother, more tokens. Knife Juggler, that makes a lot of sense with all those tokens. Quick Shot, not well. So yeah, quick shot is just going to be usual removal. It's good phase damage, everything. It's nice. And kill command for the same reasons. Rat pack. This is one of the new big ones. It summons a lot of rats once it has a few points in its attack. So you usually do that by the Direwolf Alpha, buffing it up, or the Houndmaster. It is. I guess actually that's the only way is to buff it up. Oh, there's a shaky Sip Gunner or whatever it's called. That's used. That's one of the new cards as well. That's also used to buffer the Rat Pack, but usually they're played kind of simultaneously. So most of the time the Sip Gunner won't actually hit it, but it's great if you can make it hit it. Um, so there's Huntmaster, pretty self-explanatory. There's Bonds, that's for the 7 and high main, and for the other Death Rattle minions. There's Unleash, that's for the Knife Juggler, and that's for even more tokens. And Infested Wolf is just a single copy. It's like a filler card. It's synergized well with everything else, but it's not super powerful in itself. We've got Princess Horan. Uh, yeah, that card's just like, I've got Death Rattles. I want to trigger my Death Rattles. The card's good for that. Nothing fancy, and it's 6/5, which is nice stats. Then there's Starving Busset, which is pretty unordinary, or whatever you call that. I'm playing this because when you have Death Rattle beasts on the board, that will summon a lot of beasts when they die. You can play that beast, make it survive a turn, and play Starving Busset, attack with the Death Rattle beast, and trade it into something your opponent has, and you'll have lots of card draw. Um, so I like that, but just one copy, because two is kind of much, I felt. Then we've got double 7 high mount, that's self-explanatory. We've got the soft because a lot of death rattles are in here, and we want those in control matchups. We want them back. And then we've got sea giants because we're going to have a lot of minions on the board, and we might just be lucky enough to squeeze out a sea giant at some point for quite little mana. So with the deck gone over, I think we'll have a little, just a game, nothing fancy. Um, yeah. But well, the new cards are pretty much what enables the swarming thing to start going. Especially the Rat Pack, the Alley Cat do this very well. Um, the Sip Gunner is kind of fine as well, but that's just because it's an amazing card in general. So I'm going to throw everything back because I want some more early game. And the quick shot's not really that good against Shaman, except for not getting Tunnel Drogs. And I feel like I'd rather just wait with it and draw some more early game. So there's the Sip Gunners. That's pretty good actually. Yeah, he said hello. We'll say hello back again. So it's December. That's all lovely. So I could have coined my Kindly Grandmother here, but I wouldn't have anything to do next turn, and I didn't really like that. So instead, it was just passing. Yeah, kind of like just going with the Kindly Grandmother, maybe the Houndmaster next turn, maybe the Sip Gunner next turn. It depends a lot on what he does. But I think Houndmaster is quite likely. Just because it's a power play. Okay. Now that does change things a little. I kind of like just going quick shot here. Yeah, I want to do the Knife Juggler, just to not waste mana. It just feels like the most efficient way to do this, and it's fairly likely that he's not going to try to clear my board, so it has to be single target removal, which would be okay. I wouldn't really mind it. So against Shaman, turn 4 is usually not occupied with anything. Maybe Flame with Faceless, but there's not much, honestly. Now this guy is playing some of the new cards, the Jade cards, the Jade Claws. Yes, that's kind of annoying. We'll just be doing the Handmaster. And that's going to be pretty much as always. Really great. Yeah. It's kind of disappointing that these are not beasts, because it means that they're not all broken, but they're still good, so. Except for the lacking synergy of the Handmaster, they're fine. So I would expect some sort of bulk clear here, like Lightning Storm, or, yeah, well, that's kind of valid as well, I guess. Right now it'd be pretty nasty if he did Maelstrom or Lightning Storm. Okay, but there's luckily not any of that. So we can continue playing our lovely minions. I don't really feel like switching to face yet. It's kind of too early. You can do it sometimes, but I'm not really far enough ahead for me to actually go crazy. I'm kind of hoping for something like Unleash Sip Gunner next turn, so I can get the buff from that Sip Gunner and maybe other Sip Gunner onto the Rat. But I think one buff is usually enough to make it really go crazy. That's weird. So this basically makes the Sea Giant free. I think that's just really good. I'd pretty much just take that and go face with the rest. Just killing the stuff that has spell damage because I don't want to have my entire board cleared if he goes crazy, but I don't think he's able to actually. So here you see what the Sea Giant does. It's a large buddy on the board that has to be dealt with somehow, or it's going to do a lot of damage. So, and as you see, I have a lot of minions. And the Shaman actually had a few as well, so that was really great. Okay, now we're going to have the Rat Pack going. Super crazy. Um, so if I just go like this, oh yes. So I don't need to buff the Rat Pack more than I've already done. It's fine to just go face, do a bit of damage. It's like putting the 2/2 on something that already has, well, that's able to attack. It's like giving, well, something a 2/2 charge minion almost. So it's a lot of lovely damage, and I really like that here. And that just seems like a win. Um, at least, yeah, yeah, that was a win. Um, so that will demonstrate the power of the deck against something that's looked a lot like mid-range Shaman. I think we're just going to do one more game for you guys to see, and I think that'll be it after that. But I think what you should especially pay attention to is that the deck kind of goes like setting up, building up a really strong board, and then clashing it all down. And the break point is really when I play that Sea Giant. Then I can start doing a lot of damage. So that's what I'm looking to do. Looking to build that board, play the Sea Giant, go crazy. Gonna throw these away, they're a bit too heavy, but I kinda like these, they're just strong. This was not very lucky, I really wanted the Ellie Cat, the 1-drop. But if I'm kinda lucky, I'll find that off the top here. So there's been an uprise in Renolock lately, because they've had a few good cards. So I kind of expected to be Renolock, but I wouldn't know. Yeah, okay, that looks a lot like Renolock. We're just gonna go with the Sip Gunner. I feel like if I get Leok here, I'd rather have something on the board already. Okay, that's weird. That's super weird. Okay, whatever. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with that. It's just gonna be there. If he deals 5 damage to himself, I'm kinda happy with it. Don't think he will though. Oh, he won't actually trigger it. Oh, lovely. Sometimes you gotta take risks, but there was the other player playing the Infested Wolf, which would have been okay, but I just didn't really feel like it. At worst, this would have caused my Knife Juggler to die, and I really didn't care about that. And now there's no bulk clear, which is super good actually. I kind of expected to eat up a health, let's say Hellfire or something here, which would have been pretty annoying. But now that there's not bulk clear, I can just go super crazy. Um, and actually, well, there's the Hora option, and there's the Sea Giant option, and I don't really know which one to pick actually, because both are pretty solid. I think I'm gonna go with the Hora option because it's not really having a lot less stats. So I think it's pretty strong. Do that trade and I'll just start going Fate. That's a really large infested wolf now. Okay, we'll see. Maybe the high main next turn, maybe it'll be Sea Giant, but I think it'll be high main. I usually like putting Sea Giant below 5 mana before playing it. Unless there's nothing else, because it's just you get so much more tempo out of that, I believe. And then the beasts are quite strong when you play those. Seems like he's fooling around, not really getting his board clears together, which is what you win on. That's what makes you win when you're Renolock. That's like chaining board clears until your opponent doesn't have anything else to populate the board with. Then you play your Reno and then you're good. But you can win differently, obviously. This guy seems like he has dragons. That might be Alexstrasza, actually, I suppose. Okay, he's gonna kill the Horon. Yeah, seems like it. Okay, I'll be fine though. I don't really mind. I think I'm gonna do the Infested Wolf because if we get the correct knife, which we didn't, we could have killed his stuff much easier. Yeah, whatever. Just gonna kill it. This is fine. It's gonna be lethal next turn if well, I'm not screwed from that. So there's like 8 here, and there's 2 more here. That's gonna be 10 plus 7, which is 17. So it will be lethal unless he goes Reno or Taunt or something like that. Yeah, we'll see. There might even be Big Game Hunter. I wouldn't expect that because not a lot of people play it, but it could be. Okay, so there's Siphon Soul. That's fine, really. I don't really care. It just means I can develop that 7 high main on an empty board, which is almost empty, which is really great. So in this matchup, the Sea Giant's kind of hard to squeeze out, but it doesn't matter. Everything else is still fine. The deck plays really well into the stuff that doesn't try to beat it on the board. Okay, that's going to be annoying. That's a lot of health. And Black Crystal Potion. I think that's fine. I don't like playing the card because I think it simply hurts you too much. So I'm kind of exposed to Twisting Nether here. But I still have that in the soft to get myself back in the game if it goes wrong. But I will win if there is nothing Twisting Nether like. And even Twisting Nether, yeah, well, Twisting Nether would be full clear. But I do have the top deck as well, so I think it's fine. Most of what's in my deck would really be able to be played right now. Yeah, okay, that's going to be Twisting Nether. Yep. So that was the worst case scenario, but there's not much to do about it, honestly. Whatever. Not going for the kill command, because if he goes for Reno, it would just be annoying. And I don't think it's going to matter. I'm not going to be able to kill him next time anyways. Oh, this is just not nice. So that's actually 1 off, if I'm not incorrect. So just filling the board. That should be lethal, unless he goes for Reno. But it's such a sticky board, so he's gonna have a hard time removing it. I think I got everything with Death Rattle. I played that game. I'm pretty sure it was only 5 minions. So I think it was correct that I attacked that. kindly grandmother into his minion first. I'm not really wanting to calculate anything here because it's just so much could happen, and I don't know how I don't know what's gonna happen until I've seen what he does, because it's just so much could happen actually. I think like maybe the worst case scenario is gonna be something like Sylvanas Shadow Flame, but I don't know about it. That brand could cause a lot of trouble as well, or it just wouldn't. Maybe I don't know. No, what? What is that? Is that Shadow Flame? That has to be Shadow Flame. It wouldn't make sense if it's not Shadow Flame. I think I still win then. Yeah, it is Shadow Flame. There you go. So that is going to be a quite definite win. Yeah, he knows. I think I had it on the board. I just had even more here. So, I hope you guys had a peek into what the expansion is bringing for Hunter. And I will see you in the next part of this series or in my next video.